Welcome to the Alpine Church of Spiritual Living, this beautiful February 20 day here in 2022. I am going to share our thought for the week, and those here in the room can join me as we get down to the bottom in the bold area. Love is an action. The beloved, the divine source, substance and spirit emanating through, in, and as all, is eternally giving of itself in infinite ways. This giving is always done from and as love. It is a heart-based, not head-based. What I mean by that is there is no calculation, no bargaining, no justifying, comparing, or analyzing involved. The gift of love that has created everything wants to experience itself, wants to revel and rejoice in itself by being in intimate relationship with its creation. Each and every one of us is the unique creation of the divine. Our core essence and energy are made up of divine love. Therefore, we are love in action, whether we are aware of it or not. Many times in life, our attention is pulled by and into the dramas of what is going on around us. We look at the news. We hear of a friend's terminal diagnosis. We wish things were different than they are, and this creates anxiety, depression, helplessness, and so on. Thank goodness there is a remedy, a way out of these feelings of hopelessness and helplessness. It's called letting go. It's called admitting that there's no earthly way for us to figure out all the problems of the world. That's not our job. Instead, what if we just cast our eyes, our vision, on noticing, seeing, experiencing, believing, and feeling the divine love that is beating our hearts and breathing our breath at every moment? This love is closer than hands and feet. It only wants to commune and bless us in every way. Right now, simply close your eyes, tune out the world of effects, and tune into your heart. Feel the love pulsating through you. Acknowledge and give thanks for this retreat where all your cares can be cast upon the beloved within. Say with me, I now accept that I am a loving being in action. I release thoughts of concern and tenderly feel the embrace of the beloved, soothing my frazzled mind and making all things new with ease and grace. I am so blessed. Thank you. Okay, let me get this paper turned here. So as we are moving through this beautiful month of February, we have chosen as the theme for the month, the divine inner presence. This divine inner presence we know as infinite love, unconditional love. It is that creative urge that has been throughout eternity. No beginning, no ending. It wants to create, it wants to give, it wants to birth what is new throughout eternity. We teach in Science of Mind that our experiences are based on our thinking, and that we realize that what we are thinking with is not just a separate mind. We are thinking with the one mind that is. We call it God's mind, we call it various names, but it is the mind that has instituted and created everything. That is our mind. That is the mind that we think with. That is the mind that we are using. We as humans also experience this thing called emotions, feelings. And many times these feelings, emotions, seem to just bubble up from nowhere. We have these reactions that come up, and we'll say, where did that come from? And primarily, it's based on our subconscious thinking that perhaps has been going on, that silent videotape or recording that we've been listening to subconsciously, maybe for decades. And so we're here to recognize that. We're here to know that it's okay that I have thoughts and I have feelings that kind of shock me at times, kind of take me off guard, because we want to recognize that we are this new being of creation. Consider yourself a little being of light. And some of us lights have a little tiny, just a little tiny flicker of a glow. And the more and the more and the more that we recognize where that light is embedded in us, that light grows and it becomes stronger. And it is there to lead and to guide us. But it is up to us to turn within and acknowledge it, to let that light lead us, to let that light be our guide. Because so many times we get so caught up in the circumstances of life and what is going on that our attention is put out here on the effects, on the conditions. And we want to remember that this substance that we are is the cause of what is going on in the outer. So we don't have to be like a Chicken Little screaming the sky is falling when something that is unknown to us or is new to us comes into our experience. Because we have a greater being within us that is leading us and guiding us when we turn to it, when we look at it and ask it to let us know, what is my response? How should I be this day? And so today we're talking about the fact that I am a being of love. And this being of love takes action. Just like as the source has created all of life, we are that same reflection in our own lives. And that creation of life is done with and by unconditional love. That is our example. That's our anchor. And when we can right our ship, so to speak, in the waters that are calm, in the waters that say, I have within me this beautiful light of love and peace and joy, and I am going to let it lead me this day. So that no matter what happens, whatever storms come up, that I am able to navigate them. Because I know there is something within me that is guiding me, it wants to be intimately in relationship with me. And that means that I need to take the time and the energy and the effort to turn my attention within and feel that intimacy of the love that I am, to invite it in those times of quiet, so that when I come out into the world and I face challenges and I face questions, I can be more readily adept at allowing this beautiful love to come forth through me. You know, God sent us, our humankind, many messengers throughout the decades of mystics, of those who had taken the time to make themselves available to the Spirit within them so that they could come out and teach and share and let humankind know that this is the truth of all of us. And when we read those things, though, when we read those holy scriptures, no matter which volume you look at, it can be a challenge for us because it's written in a more deeper knowing than what maybe our surface mind can understand. And so Richard Rohr and Joel Goldsmith talk about taking a passage of sacred scripture and do a contemplative type of reasoning with it. A contemplative, so that you take it in like something just very simple as, be still and know that I am God. And take that within and let it sink through you. One of the examples that you can play with that particular line is, be still and know that I am, and leave the last word off. And sit with that one for a while. Be still and know that I, and leave the last two words off. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still. Be. When we are anchored in that type of awareness, when we come forth out into the world of effects, we can more serenely handle whatever comes up. We've been reading the Book of Joy in one of our book studies, and this is a conversation that was made a few years ago now. I don't remember exactly when. 2006 or so? I don't remember. And between the Archbishop Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama. And it was a week-long time when they were spent together. And so we're just getting into that book. And the quotes that these mystics, these men, these learned spiritual men are making, they just hit you. They hit you at home because you recognize, yes, that's true. That's the truth. So I wanted to share with you one of the conversations one of the topics that they were bringing up. And the Archbishop said, and in a paradoxical way, it is how we face all the things that seem negative in our lives that determines the kind of person we become. How we face the negative things in our lives determine the kind of person we become. If we regard all of this as frustrating, we're going to come out squeezed and tight and just angry and wishing to smash everything. That's one way to approach life. Nothing beautiful in the end comes without a measure of pain, some frustration, some suffering. This is the nature of things. This is how our universe has been made up. So we, as a reflection of this one presence and power that is creating everything, that has created everything, that is our nature as well. So we shouldn't be sidetracked. We shouldn't be blown over by the fact that some things happen in life that we don't expect, that cause us frustration, that cause us pain at times. There's nothing wrong in that. But it's how we handle it that makes the difference. The Dalai Lama quoted an 8th century Buddhist master, Shantideva, I don't know how to say it. And he said, if something can be done about a situation, what need is there to worry? And if nothing can be done about it, what use is there to worry? We have at our core the answer to every worry. We have at our core the energy to respond, to be, and we have to know it. We have to accept it. And we revel in it when we can do that. So many times when we come in these situations, and is it something I can do? That to me is, well, what is it can I do? What can I do? That's the question. Yeah, I mean, obviously if it's something I know, oh yeah, let's just do this, that'll take care of it. But we have that little parentheses of time when we are sitting in the not knowing. It's somewhat, it's like the serenity prayer of let me change the things I can, not the ones that I can't, and let me know the difference. That's where we come up with the quandary in life, is how can I just know what to do or what not to do and let it be. I had an experience this past week that gave me some quandary, some agitation, some oh no. I had gotten an email, and I thought it was from a friend, but it looked really different. It didn't have the name, it just had a phone number on it. And it looked really odd, but what it was saying was something that I know this person would have sent me. And so I replied to it. And then I was talking to somebody else, and they said, that could have been some spam. You could have been hacked, and Lord knows, what can happen to you. And so this little thing came in my head like, oh no, what did I do? I responded. What now? I'm on somebody's, who knows, blacklist of some sort. And then I realized, well, there's nothing I can do about it now. I've done it. It's done. So why worry about it? That's not going to help anything. So I'm just going to let it go. Why think about that? Why think about the consternation that I could be thinking about and just let go of anything? Well, then I come to find out later, it was from that person. It wasn't anything to worry about because it was. Now, Lord knows why it looked like that. That was nobody knows why it looked like that, but it wasn't anything, that was going to be a negative for me. But I could have stewed about that. I could have worried about it. I could have thought the worst of it, and then that's just a little thing in life. So what we want to remember is to go back and really, at the beginning of your day, pull out whatever it is that you read that gives you inspiration and spend time with this being that is loving you, that wants to have the most intimate relationship with you. All of the mystics tell us how wonderful and how beautiful this relationship is. We're smart cookies here. None of us are dummies. And that's everybody I'm talking to, whether you're in this room or not. That we have within us this wisdom that wants to come forth, to birth something new. And yes, it might be a little questioning, it might be painful, it might give us consternation, but that's okay. When you birth something, it's messy. But know that there is within us this beautiful energy of love and light that wants to express itself. So when you get the little hit in your mind of go ahead and do this, go ahead and call that person. Go ahead, for me it's making chicken soup or making soup for somebody. Go ahead and take the action to interrelate with all of these other little God beings that are all around us, to give them support, to show them your love, that you honor them just as much as you honor yourself. For that is the commandment. When we know the commandments and we practice them, This love will lead and guide us. This love will give us a life that is unending, whether it be in this realm or the next. So practice feeling, knowing, believing the intimacy of this love, and then act upon whatever those little whisperings are that come to your heart, that come to your mind. For we know that we are all love in action, and we are all a blessing, and we are all blessed. And I love all of you. Namaste.